to the House Committee on Insurance. Today we have an action-packed adventure with action on 2 bills. However, prior to that moment, let's go ahead and get started with some requests for bill introductions. Thank you. Do we have anyone who would like to request a bill introduction? Seeing none. Come on up. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am with the Kansas Dental Association. Thank you for the privilege of being here today and introducing actually 2 bills, if that's all right. First of all is 24 RS 2847. That is a bill relating to dental health insurance contracts, prohibiting contracts from limiting the fee a dentist may charge for non-covered service or disallowing an otherwise covered service or preventing a dentist from billing and collecting for a service that is a dental necessity. That is, again, 2847.
2847, seeing no objection, it will be entered.
The second bill is 24 RS 2903. That Carol, okay. And that has to do with dental loss ratios. That is a bill that creates a dental loss ratio, including the calculation for insurance companies, as well as filing a report and allowing the Commissioner of Insurance to adopt rules and regulations to do that.
All right, what was the RS on that again?
2903.
2903. All right, seeing no objections, that also was entered.
Thank you.
Only 2?
That's it.
All right, well, thank you. Mr. Turek, I believe, has at least 1, maybe 6.
Not today, Mr. Chairman. Eric Turek with the Kansas Insurance Department. Just 1 bill today, RS 2995. This concerns the Property and Casualty Insurance Guarantee Association, updating some definitions from the NAIC Model Act and also making some amendments to the board membership.
All right. Seeing no objections, that also will be entered. Very nice. Do we have any further bill introductions? We have a deadline coming up, so now is probably a great time. Exactly, yep, hour-and-a-half deadline. All right, we'll be thinking about it. If you have some before we get out of here, then by golly, we'll throw them in at the end of the meeting. Well, depending upon how fast we can get through these, of course. All right. Today we're going to discuss and have possible action on HB 2478 and HB 2533. 2478, Eileen, if you could get us back up to speed on this and remind us of what this bill does. I think, although this is one we passed last year, I don't think we're going to surprise anyone with it. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 2478 would amend the definition of healthcare provider to add maternity centers to that if they satisfied 2 conditions. The first one being that the maternity center needs to have been granted accreditation by the Commission for Accreditation of Birth Centers. And second, if the maternity center meets the definition of maternity center that's contained in KSA 65-503.
All right, very good. And well, that's what I was checking. I wanted to make sure there were no amendments. Is there any discussion regarding HB 2478? Mr. Representative Proctor, I would entertain a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that the committee pass favorably for passage House Bill 2478.
All right. Second by Representative Bergquist. Discussion. Seeing none. All right, all those in favor of passing of 2478 being passed favorably, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Very good. HB 2478 is passed favorably. Now let's move on to HB 2533. Eileen, hum a few bars.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 2533 was our bill that would require reasonable fees and per diem amounts established, and also would establish a tiered fee structure for examinations of insurance companies and societies based on gross premiums.
All right, and yes, Representative Neighbor, I saw your hand twitch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I do have an amendment. Would you rather have a motion to move this and then the amendment?
Yep, let's go that route.
I would move that we pass out House Bill 2533 favorably.
All right, you've heard the motion. Second by Representative Blue. Discussion. Back to Representative Neighbor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There was a lot of discussion during this bill and concern about what reasonable meant, and so that was brought up several times. So I asked Eileen to put in, I'm sorry for that, average and sometimes average and reasonable. So the reasonable is okay with all of the insurance companies, and the average and reasonable is also acceptable with all of the companies. It does not change the intent of the bill. So with that, I would move my amendment.
The amendment's been moved. Is there a second? All right, second by Representative Woodard. All right, and actually on this one, in addition to including average and reasonable, which is a legal term that Eileen was gracious enough to find for us in Black's Law Dictionary, we also included in this amendment, you'll see it on the little balloon on the third page there, the definition of average and reasonable, in case there's any question on that point. It'll be included in the bill. Yes, Representative Blue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say thank you very much, Representative, for coming up with this. I am going to be able to sleep at night. This was keeping me up all weekend, and not a baby kicking or anything, but I'm glad that this was done. I had some concerns over the word reasonable because my definition of reasonable and everybody in this room is going to have a different definition of reasonable. So I'm glad this was done, and I strongly support this and would like to say it's a friendly amendment. Thank you.
Excellent. I would also agree that pretty much anyone sitting around the outside of this horseshoe would be disqualified from defining reasonable. All right. All right, further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Very good. Back on the original bill, yes, Representative Neighbor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I would like to thank Eileen for really coming up with this description here and the fact that it makes us all comfortable, so thank you. And I'm sorry if I kept you up all weekend. Carrying a baby can be very exhausting. With that, Mr. Chairman, I would move that we move out House Bill 2533 favorable as amended.
All right, second by Representative Haskins. I don't believe there was any further discussion. If so, now would be a wonderful time. All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Very good. HB 2533 is passed out favorably as it was amended by this committee. All right, committee, that's all we have on the agenda for today. We have a number of bills in the hopper. We will not be taking days off, so we will be back Wednesday, and we'll be hearing some more. And I think right now there's only one on the agenda for Wednesday, but don't worry, I have every confidence that we can fix that. Well, by golly, we were pro forma, and so I wasn't here. So we'll deal with that tomorrow. All right, until then, ladies and gentlemen.